Shalom, all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles, the bishops, the elders, great millstone that rule well through the scriptures. Peace to the 144,000 and the rest of the hopeful elect on the brother Kaya from GMS Indianapolis, branch of Indiana. And I just want to do something quick on this right here, all right? So without further ado.
Life. Most human Here's some facts that will save your life. Most human traffickers are actually women. In most human trafficking, while men are the ones who dominate the leadership networks, it's actually women who are often the ones recruiting and deceiving victims. They often exploit them. Women
this time out for all of this, women being shielded from, what's the word I'm looking for? Judgment, all right? Being shielded from criticism, being shielded from ridicule. Because what you come to find out is that a lot of these Western women, American feminist women, are worse than men in cases. All right. See, men are touted as abusers when the statistic says women are more so. All right. Domestic abusers. And it's touted as men being child abusers, where women are more so child abusers. All right. Women are leading in a lot of these negative, heinous statistics, man. And is being brought forth. It's being brought forth now. Now, and this is a woman, right? Well, at least I think so. Right? She's going into how most women are involved with the trafficking network because of this. Because when people see women, there's a low threat level with women. You don't really feel threatened by them. And then society have you, it's a woman. Oh yeah, she means no harm. Yeah. And here it is. This woman been killing babies in the NICU, right? The other woman who was straight up trafficking babies, Joan Crawford, the famous actress, from back in the day, 40s, 50s. She got babies from the woman. All right. So women been tripping since way back when. All right. Real quick. Sirach 42:13. For from garments cometh a moth, and from women wickedness. Just in general, man. Just in general. Women are more closely associated with wickedness than men, all right? Because men are the spiritual righteous leaders, all right? Men are closer to the Most High than women. That's just the order. Remember, the serpent went to Eve first. But women they're just more prone to wickedness, man. Here it is. You could train up a woman, right? She can have all the values that you instill in her. She could be educated, right? Good in school. But she fall in with that bad boy archetype and she's gone. We all seen it. And everybody's scratching their head. Well, how did this happen? She was raised in suburbia. She had piano lessons, art classes. But hey, once her body is given over to that said individual, well, that's whose spirit on her now. And now she lost. And now, in extreme cases, he may pimp her. And pimping deals with a lot of trafficking too. He'll pimp her and convince her to possibly get her friends involved and get them, just like how this woman's saying.
women mentality to lower defenses. This also goes for children as well. If anything, this goes for everyone as well, including men, because women are more likely to be perceived as trustworthy. They are often more effective at abducting people because their presence feels less threatening. The very scary thing about this is that not many people know this. They assume that the majority of human traffickers are operated by men, but in reality, women actually dominate this. But it's not because these women are predatory. It's also important to note as well that many of these women were once victims themselves, broken and coerced into becoming predators. And because being a woman itself is usually connoted to being nurturing and being motherly, children fall for this trap. That trust becomes a weapon, and the cycle feeds itself, ultimately turning vulnerability into a trap from which fear.
Hell, and the Department of Child Services is basically a trafficking network, right? What's the woman name? I mention it from time to time. I can't think of her name right now, but she was exposing it. Somehow she committed suicide in 2010. She's a senator, right? She's a senator. She was going into that DCS, the trafficking, and who dominates that? Women. A lot of women work in that field, child and family services. A lot of so-called black women too. And somebody made the statement. Here it is. Someone can't take care of their child because they don't have the money or the means to. So you take them and you give them to another person or a couple and give them the money and the means to take care of the child. This is America.
Can escape. It should always go without saying as well that many victims of human trafficking, from all forms of human trafficking, only 5% or less ever make it out alive or ever seen again. This is why it is so important that you, number one, stay with others, avoid being alone or isolated. Number two, refuse help at all cost. Refuse any rides or favors from strangers. Number three, you must be very quick to move to safety. Head to a well-lit and populated area if you ever approach or you feel that something is off. Specifically, run towards crowds or security where you can be heard. Number four, watch your drinks and know your exits. Always stay alert. Cause a scene.
Another thing, you women shouldn't be just out in public by yourself. See, back in the days, 60s and 70s, women needed chaperones. They couldn't just be out in public for this very reason. All right? You are the weaker sex, so you are a prey in many cases. Society, all right, got institutions like the police, all right, and the ambulance and laws and different little things to where you can be ignorant that it's crazies out here. Then when something happened to you, when you was tipsy at 3, 4 in the morning, all right, now we all gotta hear how much of a good, loving person you was. People crying over you. And how this shouldn't have happened. And well, you increase the likelihood of these type of things happening. Out by yourself, scantily clad, half drunk on your birthday weekend. You done went out of town.
If you're ever confronted, remember to scream or yell to draw attention. And number six is absolute last resort, but call for help. Use your phone to alert someone or call emergency services immediately. These steps might sound cliche, but when you really think about it, these can save your life. Stay safe.
All right, whatever, but yeah. Jeremiah 9:4. Take ye heed, every one of his neighbor. You got to take heed. You got to take heed of these women too. All right. It's too many, like maybe, 70s, 60s, 80s, they was better, but they were still doing stuff, right? It was still heinous crimes, but now these things are kind of like the norm now. You go to the liquor store and, they take pictures of people who be stealing. You see just as many pictures of women, if not more, as you do the men. All right, the 2025 in recent history, man, women have compassed men in a lot of things. All right. Not just, how can I say, society-wise, in the workforce, due to the feminist nature of society. But hell, even in wickedness, even in crime, women shooting people now, straight up killing people. Take ye heed, every one of his neighbor, and trust ye not in any brother or sister. See what happened, how she was explaining how they convince other people, other women, other children. For every brother will utterly supplant, and every neighbor will walk with slanders. And when you supplant, let's look up that definition in the Hebrew. Hold on, that shit. To supplant, to circumvent, go around you, undermine you, trick you, overreach. All right. To swell out or abuse, to seize by the heel, figuratively to circumvent, as if tripping up the heels. Yeah, tripping you up. All right. To come from behind, sneak attack. Take hold of one's heel. Yaiquab, our forefather, Jacob, that's his name. To defraud, right? So anyway, with that, I just want to do something on that real quick. Lord's will, this was an edifying lesson for elect. All praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kakodash, Shalom. Salakia. One last little side note. The Spirit just brought the name back to me. That woman's name, that former senator who was going into the DCS trafficking, her name was Nancy Schaefer. All right, so with that, Lord's will, this was an edifying lesson. Shalom.